Okay, hi everyone. So let's look at the second topic that we are going to do in week 1. That is vectors, form 5, chapter 4. So let's look at the question. Okay, so that's question 4 and question 5. So this is your question 4. Okay, so you can see in diagram 1 shows a quadrilateral ABCD. AED and EFC are straight lines. Right, so here you have the diagram and then the information given, right? AB is 18x, so AB meaning A to B, so it's 18x. AE is 10y, so A to E, we put the arrow so it's easy for us to see, 10y. DC, so D to C is this direction, right? 24x minus 20y. AE is 1 over 3 AD. So AE is 1 over 3 AD. So you can see here, this is AE is 1 over 3 of AD, which is this length. So this is one part, this is two parts. So total being 3 parts, right? So AE here is 1 over 3 of AD. Okay, so we need to understand that. And then the next part here is EF is half of EC. So E to F is half of EC, meaning this is equal, right? Half of it. Okay, so this is what information is given in the question. Okay, what are we supposed to find? So part A, express in terms of X and Y. Okay, BD and EC. Right, so you are given 4 marks, usually it's 3 to 4 marks. Okay, BD and EC. Okay, where is BD? So you can see BD from here, B to D. Okay, and then we also want to find E to C. Okay, part B, show that the points B, F, D are collinear. What is the meaning of collinear? In Malay here is segaris. Okay, that means these 3 points lie on a straight line. So if you have, let me sketch here. So let's say you have B, F, D. So how do we show it's on a straight line? So we have to write out something like BD is equals to a number here, lambda FD, any combination using these 3. It can be BF and BD or BF and FD. So here I use BD and FD, doesn't matter. So long as you combine, you have the 3 letters and one of them is repeating, like here the D. Right? So it's a common point. So we need to find that that is a constant here. Then we can say it is parallel or collinear. Okay, depending on the question. Okay, next part. Okay, you are given the length of vector x and the length of vector y, and you are asked to find the length of BD. Okay, here you will be using Pythagoras theorem, right, to solve. So we need to know what is BD. So you can see in part A, here we'll be looking for BD and later we'll use the same here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and solve this problem. Okay. Okay, so let's do part A. Okay, so you can see here I have already labeled. So right, so BD. So how do you find BD? Right, so if you look at BD, okay, let me write it up here. B to D, how do we go from B to D? This way, B to D. So your BD will be B to A to D. Just now we already said this is one part and this is 2 parts. So if one part is 10y, you know another 2 parts here will be 20y. Okay, so you can do it this way. Okay, so BA A to B is 18x. So B to A, you're going the other direction. You can see opposite direction. So it's negative 18x, right? Plus A to D, from here, A to D. Okay, so 10y and 20y here. So the total is 30y. So that's it. That's your answer for A part 1. Right? What's part 2? Part 2 is EC. Right? So how do we find E to C? So again, how are we going to go from E to C? We can go from E to D, right? E to D, and after that from D to C. Okay, that is going from E to C. So you go E to D, E to D, and then you go D to C, right? So that way you will get EC. So what is ED? See in the diagram I have labeled it is 20y, right? And your DC is given in the question, that is 24x minus 20y. So if you notice, this 20y minus 20y, no more y, so your answer is 24x. And this makes sense even though they didn't say that EC and AB are parallel. But you can see in the diagram is horizontal, so it's quite possible that it is parallel, right? Even though we cannot make such assumption, right? Okay, let's go on to part B. What is part B? Okay, part B, we have to show that the points B, F, D are collinear. That means they lie on a straight line. Okay, so as I said earlier, okay, we have to make equation, right? So I'm going to check whether BD is equals to a constant, let's call it lambda FD. Okay, so why I use BD? Because in part A we already found BD, so we don't have to find again. So we find another, one more, just the FD. So I'm going to find FD. So this is from part A, right? From part A. Okay, so FD, how do I find FD? FD is F to E, right? So you can see F to E, and then E to D. So that will be FD, right? So plus E to D. And we know this one earlier, I already labeled, this is 20y. So F to E, okay, see this one, we use this information given to us earlier, right? So EF is equals to half of EC. So we need to know EC. And we already know from part A, forgot to write, okay, from part A that EC is 24x. Right? So this is from part A. So now EF is half of EC. But this is not EF, this is FE. That means it's negative EF. Right? Different direction. And then you have ED. Right? So negative EF meaning negative half of EC. EC is 24x. And then what is my ED? From the diagram you can see it's 21. So once I simplify, I will get this. Negative 12x plus 20y. Okay, so come back here. So this is what I want to see, whether I can get a lambda, a constant. Right. So how do I do that? So I already have BD here and I have FD here. This is my FD. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So BD divide by FD. Can I get a constant? Right? So my BD is this, negative 18x plus 30y. and my FD is this, negative 12x plus 21. Okay, so how do I do this? I factorize, right? I try to factorize. So you can see the BD, I take out negative 6. Okay, so I will have 3x minus 5y, and in my denominator, negative 4. Again, this is negative 4 times 3, negative 12. Negative 4 times 5 is 20. So you can see when I write this way, I can cancel this. And I have negative 6 over negative 4, which when you simplify, you get 3 over 2. So I get this. BD over FD is 3 over 2. I get a constant. Or I can write it out this way. BD is equals to 3 over 2 FD. Since I can write out this way, there's a constant. Therefore, B, F, and D are collinear. Right? So you need to find the constant. So I hope you understand this part. Okay, let's go on to part C. Okay, part C. Okay, this is part C. So again, you need BD. So we write up BD. BD is this, negative 18x plus 30y. So let me just sketch it up for you. So something like this, you have a triangle. So this is your 18x. And this is your 30y, right? So this is the length that you want to find, right? It's BD. Okay. So if you look at it, this negative here doesn't matter. The negative only tells you the direction, whether it's going this way or this way. Okay, so it's not important here when you want to find the length. So here, x, the length of x is 5. So if you have 18x, that means the length is 18 times 5, right? This part here is 18 times 5. And this one here is 30 times 5, right? Because y is also 5, right? So when you want to find the, okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, when you want to find the length of BD, so this is square root of, okay, this length, that is 18 times 5 squared plus, okay, this length of y here, which is 30 times 5 squared. Okay, alright, then use your calculator and you will get your answer 174.93. Alright, so this is just using your Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so usually you see the marks here. So once you write this, you get 1 mark here, and for the final answer, you get 1 mark. Okay, let's go up to B. Okay, so you get your marks when you find any in here, like for example, you are able to find your EF, and then you are able to find FD, right? So 1, 2, and then you are able to make a connection here and find this 3 over 2. So your marks will come from various parts depending on the marking scheme of that particular year. So here they give 4 marks for this. So final marks will be for the 3 over that you are able to write this. You are able to write this. Okay. So again, earlier part. Okay, so 4 marks for this. So you are able to write this 1 mark, answer 1 mark, same here, right? You are able to write the equation and the final answer. So you get 4 marks here, right? So I hope you understand. So let's look at question 5, which is similar to question 4. Okay, let's look at question 5. Diagram 2 shows a triangle PQR. The point S lies on PR. So you can see here, point S lies on PR. And the point T lies on PQ. This is T. The straight line QS intersects the straight line RT at point U. So you can see all this in the diagram. And what else is given to us? Okay, PRQ is 90. So this is PRQ is 90 degrees. PR, okay, PR is 5x. Okay, so this is 5x from P to R. RQ is 2y. So this is RQ, 2y. PR to SR, the ratio of PR to SR is 4:1. So PR is the long vector from here to here, right? And then SR is from here to here. So if SR is 1, that means this is one part. And then PR is 4 parts, meaning here is 3 parts, right? So we have to see what is given. We have to look at the ratio carefully. Okay, it is not PS to SR, it is PR to SR. So PR is 4 parts and SR is 1 part. So you can see after I label, this is 3 parts and this is 1 part. And it's given that PR is 5x. So we have to take 3 parts of 5x for PS and 1 part of 5x for SR. We'll come to that later. Okay, the ratio of PQ to PT is 3:1. So PQ again from here to here, PQ is 3 parts and PT is 1 part. So PT is 1 part. P to Q is 3 parts, meaning this is 2 parts, right? So this is the information given. So we write out the information. Okay, and then we go on. What are we supposed to find? Similar to question 4, we look at it. They ask you to find 2 vectors and express it in terms of x and y. That is, you have to find QS and RT. So let's look at the diagram. So your QS is this line, okay, QS, and RT is the other line going across. So this is what we need to find, right? And then second part, okay, this time they give you RU is equals to HRT and QU is equals to KQS, and we are supposed to find the constants. So again, we are using here, you can see is parallel vectors. Okay, and then part C is similar to question 4 part C, which is asking you to find the length of a particular vector. Right, okay, let's try to solve this now. Okay. Okay, so let's look at QS. Okay, let me label all the sides first. So this one here, RQ is 2y. Okay, this was 1 part and this was 3 parts. So all together, 4 parts of 5x. So 5x divided by 4. So that's 5/4x. And then this is 3 parts. So you will get 15/4x. Okay, so I just show it here. So 1 part means 1/4 of 5x. And 3 parts means 3/4 of 5x. Right? So I label it here at the diagram. Okay, so it's easier for me to see. Okay, now, so if you look at the part A, you want to find QS. So you write out QS is Q to R plus R to S. So you can see RQ is 2y, so QR is opposite direction, so you get negative 2y. Right, and QS is again, RS is again going the opposite direction, right? So you get minus again 5 over 4x. Okay, that's it. That's your answer for the first part. Okay, now part 2, you are supposed to look for RT. So how do we find RT? Okay, so to find RT, right? So you can use RP plus PT. Okay, so RP plus PT here. So to use PT, we need to know what is PQ. Right, so we don't know PQ yet. So you find PQ first. Okay, let me go this side and find PQ first. Okay, so how do I find PQ? PQ will be PR plus RQ. Right, so your PR was 5x and RQ is 2y. And this is one part. Earlier we already labeled, and this is two parts. So PT is 1 out of 3. So PT is 1 out of 3 parts of your PQ. Right? So you can leave it this way, or you can rewrite this way. 5 over 3x plus 2 over 3y. So we are going to use this here. So your RT, okay, we come back to RT. RT is RP plus PT. So RP is negative PR, so it's negative 5x plus PT, write out your PT that we have already found. Okay, so simplify and then we get our RT is negative 10 over 3x plus 2 over 3y. So that's your part A. Okay, so we are going to use this in part B. So in part B, let's look at part B. So you can see this is my part B. Okay, so RU and RT. RT we already found in part A. And here QU equals to KQS. QS we already found in part A also. So we are going to use it here. So RU is equals to HRT from part A. Your RT is negative 10 over 3x plus 2 over 3y. So we can rewrite it this way. Okay, so QU is KQS, and what is your QS? QS is negative 5 over 4x minus 2y. Okay, so again, so we get this negative 5 over 4kx minus 2ky. Okay, so before we are asked to find what is k and what is h, so we need to make a connection between R, U and Q. Let's go back and look at the diagram. Okay, so if you look at the diagram, so where is R, Q and U? So you can see this triangle which has the 3 points. Okay, so you need to make a connection using these 3 points. So either you can say RQ is equals to RU plus UQ, or RU is equals to RQ plus QU, or any combination using these 3 points, right? So I'm going to use RQ is equals to RU plus UQ, alright? So I'm going to use that. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. RQ RU plus UQ. Okay, so you put in all the uh, equations that we've already found. RQ is 2y. So note that there's no x here. So meaning any constant for x will become 0. Okay, so RU okay, this is my RU plus UQ. Okay, this is QU. UQ meaning is negative of QU. So put a bracket and copy back what is your QU. So simplifying that, you will get negative 10 over 3hx. I'm putting the x together. So from here, I will get plus 5 over 4kx. And then y. So 2 over 3hy. Negative and negative, I get plus 2ky. Right? So you are going to compare the right hand side and the left hand side, but to make it easy, we simplify first. So you will get this. Okay, so you're taking out the vector x and leaving the constants inside, and the factorize take out the vector y. Okay, this is the constant that you compare with this. So here you have one equation and there's no x here. Okay, so this thing is equals to 0. This one is equals to 2. Right? So you have two equations now. So when you have two equations, okay, so you have to use simultaneous equations to solve this. Okay, so you have negative 10 over 3 h plus 5 over 4 k is 0. Okay, so you can simplify this. You will get an equation, right? Okay, once you simplify, you get this. Okay, one equation. And then from here, and you simplify, you get this. And h is equals to 3 minus 3k. Okay, so you substitute this into your equation 1. So you get negative 8, 3 minus 3k plus 3k is 0. Okay, open up and solve this. You will get k is equals to 8 over 9. And substitute into back into h, and you get your h is 1 over 3. Okay, use your calculator, calculate up. Okay, so these are your answers. That k is 8 over 9 and h is 1 over 3. Okay, the final part. Okay, so earlier we were already given that that PQ here is 90 degree, right? We are given that. Okay, so we can look at what is PQ. Okay, so PQ is 5x. Okay, let me write up PQ is 5x plus 2y. So here your x is 4 units, right? And your y is 4 units also, right? So when you want to find the length of PQ, it is square root of, okay, 5x, x is 4 squared, plus 2 times 4, this is your y. Use your calculator and this is your final answer. Okay, so I hope you have understood it. And if you have any further questions, okay, just send me a message. Okay, so good luck with your vector.